Alright, this is a video on how to draw the Year 8 house. First of all, you go to the Stage 4 TAS website and go to House Design. Go down to where the floor plans are. And you can click on one of those house designers to take you to some examples of their floor plans. You don't have to use these are just a starting point. You can use whatever floor plans you like. So you can go through the single story homes. Of course, the idea is you use these houses as a guide and get information from them to design your own floor plan, and then you'll drag your own floor plan into SketchUp, or you can alternatively edit the floor plan in SketchUp when you put it in. Save an image. Make sure you select architectural design millimeters when you open SketchUp. Go to File, Import, and find where you saved your floor plan image and press Import. When you first drag it in, your first click will drag it to a point and your second click will scale it. So make sure you leave that person in the corner so you can scale it to what you seem is reasonable to start with. I'm going to pick up the tape measure tool and measure the front of the garage. This is the scale tool, so that's how you drag it from the corner. I'm just going to pick up that tape measure tool, and in the bottom dialog box you can see how long it is. I'm going to scale it up a little bit more. We want the garage to be about 6 meters or 6,000 millimeters. Scale it up just that little bit more. The tape measure tool, you can see it's pretty close there. And that'll be fine. Now what we're going to do here is pick up the rectangle tool and draw squares over our rooms. It's important to go, once you draw a second square and then on, you draw from a point that's already existing on the house. So I'm starting from that left bottom point of that square and dragging up from there. Don't start from in the white zone and drag it back to a room. Always start from an existing point. You can see here these lines haven't matched up. So I'm going to go back and start from that middle line. When I drag the line over, I can reference that bottom line there. I'll tell you more about that in class. Sometimes you can use the pencil tool when you're doing a large room at the back to draw your separate sides in. Use a combination of the rectangle tool and the pencil tool to help you draw your rooms as accurately as possible. Okay, now that I've done all that, I can show you how to actually make these walls rather than just being lines. We need to make the walls rectangles so that we can then extrude them up. I'm going to get the move tool there, and I selected the original image and just move it across so you can actually see what rooms we've actually drawn and what they're called and how it all works, rather than sitting it underneath that drawing. Go to view tool palettes and the large tool set. Here I'm going to select the offset tool there. If I click once and start dragging out, you'll notice every time that arrow comes up, we need that to just click a second time and type in 50. Just going to click once, drag towards the edge, click again and type in 50. We want those walls to be 50 millimeters. Just going to speed up the process here just to get it done and show you the next step. Now that we've done that, we pick up the eraser tool. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and erase all those lines that are in the middle of the walls. They're our existing squares that we drew, but now that we've offset the walls, we can delete all those middle lines. What that allows us to do is, after we delete all those lines, we're going to be able to push-pull the walls all up in one go. I'll speed it up here a bit so we can get to the next point. Okay, now I've erased all those middle lines. Now pull these walls up so that they're 3D. Get the push-pull tool. Now start pushing up or pulling up. We click once and pull up. Then we're just going to simply click and then type into the box 2400, which is 2.4 meters, and that's how high we want those walls. We can use the eraser tool to erase some of those lines that we don't need anymore on those walls. And that's the first step done.